Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
Yo, yo, yo. Oh, I'm sorry for the yo, yo, yo.
Yeah.
First of all, when would that be current? Like MTV Raps, Yo MTV Raps?
I was thinking more pirate ship.
Oh, yo, yo, the pirate's life for me. Yo, 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 Andy. And now, have you ever heard my rap, my put down of rap?
I don't know. Is it the one where you drop the C?
No, I mean, that's how I introduce it.
Yeah.
You introduce it that way.
It's missing the C, I think is how it goes.
Yes. And then I go through a whole thing where I go, and what is this rapping stuff? And then I went down Tuesday, and then you said it was a use day. And then you said, right? I'm trying to feel how it'd be like to be. Is that what an 80s comic would do, or is it a 90s comic? 80s comic, right?
The pioneers of the hack bit were in the 80s, I think.
Yeah, and they used to have even your hero, Jimmy Buffett. I'm just kidding. But Jimmy Buffett used to have a thing.
Although Robert Klein had that thing on Cool Mo D.
You had me for a second that he did have a thing on Cool Mo D. He did not, right?
He did not.
You know, he said, let me sing you a song about Cool Mo D. I can't stop my leg from triggering my oldest bit. Now, what happened today? You okay?
Yes. My wife is starting the new semester today, and I just wanted to make sure she was out the door.
Oh, before you called the party?
Yes.
You know what I like?
No, otherwise it would have been the first 15 minutes of our show would have been, does this look okay?
Oh, don't wear that. Don't wear that. There's people out there who rape. That's all they do.
The clothing thing is a minefield in our house because I have this inability to be dishonest.
Well, that's what she wants. She wants honesty.
She wants honesty, but that's a minefield in and of itself because if because the follow-up question to that's not good is why?
Why?
Yes.
Yeah, the last thing in the world that you want to do is try to justify why you look, honey.
Right. That's exactly.
Honey, it's like it just reminds me of that thing with the Mrs. Goodbar. Nope. For second try, Tootsie, where he goes, "Why don't you wear those pants?" He goes, anyway, slams his backside to show I can't wear those pants. You don't have that. Oh no, girlfriend style.
No,
Glam Squad style.
I do not. It would be a mistake.
What if you, as a joke, said to her, no, try this, try that, and then when she was done, she had a baseball cap on, she had a whistle like you're wearing.
All right.
And
I'm not wearing a whistle. I'm wearing headphones like you are.
Wearing a whistle?
Like you are. I'm wearing headphones.
But wouldn't that be funny if she comes and then the last thing you know, she's downstairs with the baseball cap, with the big whistle, and she's ready to go. Why do you want her to have a whistle at school?
Why?
Right.
It's just because you see me as a life coach doesn't mean I'm dressed as a coach.
No, life coaches typically, that's one of the things they do to show that they're, not your typical, not your father's life coach.
They don't wear a whistle now?
No, I don't think. Okay, well, I was thinking that they're embarrassed that they're called life coaches, so they go into more life consultant. But I don't think so. I think this is part of the thing.
I think
Come on.
Yes.
Write 14 things down before. I have I won't even talk about it.
You actually did worse with the coach than you did with the rap.
What is the deal with these life coaches who use rap songs and they only talk about cheese? Have anybody heard about this? He's like, they whistle. I'm a life coach. Bro. Can I start using bro unironically?
No. Since you had that last word, no.
I have some, Susan, wrote a joke.
Oh, good.
But it wasn't even a joke. It was just an observation that happened to dovetail nicely with another one of my jokes. So we had nothing to watch last night. So we watched the MTV Video Awards.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that? You wrote for them, right?
I never did. No, thankfully.
No.
I've seen them, but it's been really, really, really a long time.
Yeah, it's there's some good things in it, but it's like, I don't know. I love Lizzo and I love the ladies. So anyway, the Red Hot Chili Peppers were given the MTV Movie Awards Icon Award. I guess that's for anybody over 30.
Not the movie awards, the Video Music Award.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had to nitpick on that, but yeah.
No, but you're right, because they had movie awards afterwards, didn't they? MTV Movie Awards?
They have those as well, yes.
Okay, so we're just listening to music and we're just doing our own stuff while it's on in the background, and she hears one of the head Chili Peppers. I don't know if it was chili or pepper.
Uh-huh.
They introduced him and he goes, "Thank you, Cheech and Chong." And Susan thought that's like it was a joke. What's the joke? It's like Cheech and Chong were hosting the event.
Were they really?
They were hosting the event where they did some intro. Yeah. So she couldn't believe it. It was like,
they can't have been hosting the event. They must have been giving that award.
They were, yes. No question. They're not hosting the event. They were given the iconic award. Right. And so they threw to them and they did a concert thing wherever they did a concert thing. So this to me is the new, it's pretty funny though. It's the new thank you, Sanjay Gupta. You know what I mean? Whoever introduces you. That was one more time for Cheech and Chong. Even though it actually was Cheech and Chong.
It'd be especially funny with Doug Benson.
I would like to call him Chong, right? Thank you, Chong.
No, call them both.
Nice going, Cheech and Chong.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, Cheech. Chong's out here doing drug material. Pick it up. Let me tell you something right now. If he asks us to go in his show,
he won't.
The answer is no.
Yes, the point is moot, though.
His show's gone?
No. There's no chance we're asked back as a pair.
I can't believe that. I really want to go back to a place with a guy who is really more my age than he's anybody else's age. A guy who is still doing his pot jokes. No, here's the thing. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. I don't give a fuck anymore about whether I'm on Doug Benson's show. It's something that the pandemic brought to me.
Yeah.
The freedom to say no. I mean, the only thing that was great about it was the dabbing.
Yeah, I knew things were bad for me in terms of it being over when I started seeing people's shows and not thinking I should be on them.
All I'm saying is, why am I starting a war with him? I'm not really.
You shouldn't. We already had our flare up after the appearance.
Yeah, with him?
Well, no, he was never a part of it.
No, he would never be. He's not listening to this. No. Actually, you know what? I think he does listen to our podcast, Doug Benson. Between his 10:30 joint and his 11 o'clock cleaning, who am I to talk about? Right?
Yes.
Who the fuck am I? I even have my Banaka.
There's the pothead calling the kettle black.
I even have my Banaka. It's not Banaka. This is I went to the vape, the store, and they talked me into a vape, which I never, just doesn't work. You've noticed it. Doesn't do a damn thing.
It does something. It just doesn't do it as well.
Right. And I'd like to do it before the sessions because all I need is more problems with my timing in the morning.
Yes.
Hold on a second, Josh.
And by the way, the word sessions has entered into pot smoking now. If you get any of the high-tech stuff, it's like, for your smoking session.
Are you referring to the smoking space There are new things happening in
There's
the
all
smoking
sorts
space.
of things happening in the smoking space right now.
I am telling you that this language thing, which is let me push back, let's unpack it, is really not that it's taken over, but it's just it's annoying.
It is.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, I had nothing there. How come I'm hearing when you hear Tommy too?
It's almost always cut off.
Yeah, is it just? I never know. It's always at the end, right?
Yes.
It's Tommy too.
It's Tommy too.
Okay, I stopped. Let's go back to
Stopping.
First of all,
let's go back to you stopping.
Why go back further than that? Let's go back to no. You should go back to
Stopping
where you're not
was
talking.
nice.
Not talking. Hi. Yours is way better because it connotes, or if that's the right word, a kind of loss of. You don't know. I don't know. My timing isn't even off.
Yes, and there's a certain pride in it.
Hi. Yeah. Why do you keep saying hi to me? How about this one? Normally. Remember I thought that was funny for a month?
I did a month, I wish.
Normally, get it? What is there to get, you old, pathetic, Jew-like
You're like
creature?
fucking lazy Norm Crosby. What's so funny about that?
Why do kamikaze pilots wear helmets? I don't know. Norm, the war's been over for 65 years. Let's go back to my old jokes. Those are the ones that I felt. You know, when I was in the game. Thank you, Sanjay Gupta. You know, when I had more. What do they say when they have? I don't like. This is what I don't like. Show me some leg. What? Why? Men say that.
Is that coming out a lot in your life, Andy?
Not a lot, but I have heard it. You know,
no, you
show
haven't.
some
No,
leg.
you haven't. You have not heard any widespread use in the last 30 years of show 'em some leg.
I just heard it recently on a thing.
Yeah, you were watching an old Carson show on MeTV.
You know, the way you talk about it, the way I am, it makes me feel as if that you're saying things negatively about me, and I don't like that in the discussion space. Okay, let's go to the letters now.
Oh, you wish.
Guess who promoted the show while you were in Sleepyland, sleeping and thinking about what outfits?
That's really helpful. That 4 a.m. tweet is really pushing the ball along. Thank you.
I knew you'd say that. Now, here's my response. If you cut me, do I not bleed? Do we not have European fans?
I just watched, speaking of that monologue, I just watched the movie To Be or Not to Be last night with Allison, who had never seen it.
Wait a second. I have never seen it either.
I think
it's supposed to be.
I think we did it as homework once, maybe, but
it's Lubitsch, right?
It is Lubitsch. Yes,
and it's supposed to be excellent.
It's a very funny movie. It has a lot of really just solid ass jokes in it.
Solid jokes about asses?
Yes, Andy. Yes.
I wish I had my own array of sound effects at my end.
But you would love it if you haven't seen it because it's full of jokes and Nazis.
Yes, and why do I feel like if we saw it, I saw it, but I'm going to see it again. Where'd you watch it on?
I think it's.
You don't still have Criterion, do you?
I do, but it's on HBO Max, I believe.
You don't feel like I didn't use Criterion this month. What am I doing? You never have that moment?
I never go a whole month, but I do sometimes pay a whole subscription for a movie.
Only Jews like me, not like you, only Jews like me still parse out. Well, first of all, we have a different philosophy when it comes to Apple Music. So if you want to laugh at me again, I'll tell you that I don't have $5. In fact, I am incensed. I was speaking to some of my friends, my Amish friends. They too are incensed.
Yeah.
By the, okay, I got bored with that, Josh. It was no life in it. You were smoking.
Yeah.
And, I like to watch you smoke. Not after sex.
Just to be clear, it's vaping. It's not actually smoking.
Oh. Okay. I thought that we had established there would be no way that just because Allison was gone, you'd be puffing on a ciggy in the house.
No.
Like crazy. No, it's the now the vape that you're using. It's not a jewel. It's not an expired jewel, is it?
It is not. But you'll notice it is cigarette sized.
Well, I think the cigarette,
which I think is a big part of why I latched onto this particular brand.
But you also feel a little. Oh, that would get me. I would not want. I have smoked, as you know, for a minute in the thing. Yeah, I don't want something that looks space age. I want something.
All right.
You know what they have? People have these things.
But people actually, it's evolved to a point where people, if I'm standing there smoking it, people assume it's pot now.
That's ridiculous.
And I have to disabuse them of that. I remember when those disposable vapes first came out, vape pens. Yeah. You could smoke them in the car because people would assume they were tobacco.
Right, and
now it's
smell.
so completely flipped.
But that's right. Now you're afraid to do it.
Yeah,
you can get with the hippies. I saw these 3 ladies on the street yesterday in Sherman Oaks.
Why? What did you just trip? Because you said Sherman Oaks for the 9,000th time in this show? Everybody, we live in Sherman Oaks, California.
All right. So here's the thing. We don't anymore because we moved. But they're smoking. All of them had their own devices, but I've seen these before. They're huge devices. They're like this big, and then they have a huge piece in their mouthpiece, and then there's 3 of them standing there separately puffing away. That's not weed, right?
I have no idea.
You haven't seen the contraptions? It's a contraption.
Yeah, they're big. There's these big vape things for people who like these giant fucking clouds of whatever they're vaping. Yes.
No, but I just think these people were like waiting for their car. I just couldn't believe they would be all 3 be smoking weed. No,
probably not. If you started with 3 old ladies.
No. Did I say old ladies?
You said 3 old ladies in Sherman Oaks, and then you collapsed.
Can I ask you a question? Why can't I have very difficult time making a story fun about a past event?
It's true.
Or remembering the details. Remembering the details well. Well, how can I be a comic when I don't have a mind that goes 6 Jew, a Christian, another guy, a lady, a bird walk into a bar?
I think the question, how can he be a comic, has come up more than once in your career.
Oh, Donna. You know, I was going to go into, that song he sings with, from Pretty and Not Pretty in Pink. You know, with this song with Dirty Dancing. Oh, my Lord. I need your love. Ooh, Godspeed your love. Godspeed.
Doctor, I'm afraid Andy has an unchanged malady.
And we'll be back with more of the jibber jabbers.
Algonquin quality wordplay.
Are you still a big fan of the jib jabs? You know what I'm talking about, right?
The jib jabs?
Yeah.
Sure.
They used to have like an animated head, and they would do like one would be Nixon.
Right.
Where's that babe? Oh.
It was like paper cutout capital steps.
And you knew, sometimes you definitely can, it's harder these days to, not harder, but you can make conclusions based on when someone tells you what they do. You go, oh, I'm not going to listen to this. They enjoy hacky things.
All right.
Forgot what I was saying halfway through. And I'm so unwilling to use my phone a friend, which is you.
Yeah, well, I think there's times when it wouldn't help you.
That's what I used to get upset. Oh my God, what have I forgotten? Now I go,
There are sometimes you set off with no objective in mind and then fail to reach it.
Yes. I would like to pride myself on the fact that I start off somewhat knowing where I'm going with each sentence.
Yeah. How about that one?
No. No, I made myself forget. I made myself forget twice.
Yeah.
In the, over the weekend, there are so many things that happen to me that I go, Josh needs to know about this, or that I'm watching this.
Right.
And what happened to us writing down do you have something on a paper?
No, I haven't in years. Because I realized whenever I started something, you jumped in and took it off the rails.
A horrible thing to say. How am I going to improve with that kind of?
I don't know.
Well, I just don't talk to him in the show anymore because I was not well received.
I'm willing to roll with it, but if I have an agenda, it just becomes frustrating for me.
We had two spiralers in town.
Yeah,
Kathy and I don't even know Tweet's real name.
I didn't get the sense that Tweet was here with her.
Oh, it was just Kathy.
Yes.
Oh, that's probably why she would like some local people to come down. Do you want me to wait for a second?
No.
So it's in my head then?
No, I'm going to have a dog no matter what. So.
And then Kathy, it's like Kathy said, well, it's outside, but it's like even without, I'm not going anywhere. I don't seem to be wanting to go anywhere to meet with anybody.
Yeah.
Like someone said to me, a comic said, you want to grab coffee? I said, I'll do a phone call with you. The only person who's been Gary Goldman. And
let me just tell that guy, a phone call with Andy, what a prize.
So in other words, you know what the best way to talk to Andy would be? When I can't see him, he can't see me, and he can't see that he's spaced out and looking at something else.
Right.
There's really no upside to it.
No, so go have coffee is really the moral.
True.
Just
you think I should have coffee?
Have coffee outside. What the fuck's problem?
Oh, coffee outside I can do, but I'm not going to go. I didn't want to go to a concert thing.
Okay.
Because then you are like people are in your face.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Where was what?
Where Kathy was playing.
Oh, that was.
Oh, Echo Park, right?
No, it was Eagle Rock, I think.
You should have said. I will hope that you, as editing the show, will at least spend a couple of seconds listening to your tone. What was what?
Where was what?
That's like we're an old married couple.
Yes.
What did you?
We never had a Plymouth.
Do you know that commercial where they go, it's an Oldsmobile, it's Siri.
It's Alexa.
It's an Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
It's Siri.
Yes. We talked about this.
I did not know for a second whether the Oldsmobile was still made. And my question would be, when the Oldsmobile was made, who would want to buy an Oldsmobile?
Well, let me just clarify. Let me clarify that it's a commercial for a Buick.
No, it's for Siri.
No, it's for Alexa and a Buick, not Siri and an Oldsmobile.
Oh yeah. So your version of the Adam and Costello is that the one guy doesn't even know the references. He can't do the third base. I got a picture of somebody sent me. Our friend Rosemarie sent me a picture of a player named Who, H-U, on first base.
Ah, beautiful.
Finally,
yes.
not the Who that because I believe in those days there were only white people.
Steve Higgins and Nick Bakay used to do a parody of Abbott and Costello called Jack and Tan. And there was one of their bits was, there's a Chinese guy fucking your wife. Who's fucking my wife?
I used to love to see. I thought Steve was so funny.
He was.
Steve Higgins. He is still funny.
He's still funny, and he's making a goddamn fortune being funny.
What has he done? You know what he would if I find out that he did something like sat near an was a sidekick for some asshole for the last 30 years, I would not talk to him again.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to talk to him again.
Yeah.
What?
No, he was an underling. He was an underling. Don't worry.
Does he still have to laugh at Jimmy Fallon?
Only when on camera. That's part of his contract.
I do not watch anything in the. I mean, who cares? But
I bet we could upend his career if we showed that Chinese guy fucking your wife tape.
No. That is, again, well, here's the thing. Back when those guys, I would make this argument, when those guys, or when we were making fun of bad comedy, back then, it was funnier.
Yeah. It was a lot of have your cake and eat it, too.
Yeah. So
I was watching, speaking of have your cake and eat it, too, which we have been quite a bit lately. I was watching.
What's that?
We've been speaking about have your cake and eat it, too.
Yeah.
I was watching Don Rickles yesterday. I watched something, and he was, of course, hilarious and killing. But, like, has anyone really ever gotten away with more? Not just the racism and stuff. That's, like, besides the point. But, like, anyone who ever talked about Don Rickles, hilarious, and the nicest man. You know, everyone. Of course, he wasn't the nicest man because his first thought was mean, always.
That's true. That's true. I'll never forget when I said to Kumail and his wife many, many years ago, we were in Australia at the Melbourne thing.
Yeah.
And I said, brought up Don Rickles. He goes, you like Don Rickles? I for 1 second, I was like, oh, I thought that everybody does, but I had to think, of course, why would he like Don Rickles? Why would anybody outside of the context of Don Rickles? It sounds, and here's the difference though. Like Dice, like, there's not a difference, but here's another point. When Dice, was saying, they had footage of him basically saying the worst things about Asian people or the worst things about, right. That was out there then. And all these people, even Bill Murray, all these people took sides against Nora Dunn.
We're talking about this again.
She was right. It wasn't a matter of free speech. I mean, whatever. Maybe she, like John Lovitz came out and said she was hard to work with. Well, he's a fucking dickhead. You know, it's like, she was right to point out that, because when you hear some of the material, it's just horrible. And it really was couched a lot as a free speech thing at some points.
Sure.
And I think that free speech was more, there was a thing in the past about free speech, when we're doing ironic things and all this kind of stuff. You know, when you're doing, like when Steve Higgins is doing that bit. Right. He obviously is making fun of, it's not a Chinese bit. It's a bit about hack comedy. Right. But it doesn't, today and also,
but
Rickles,
Dice wasn't a parody. Dice was his own thing. He became self-parodying, which made him even worse.
What do you mean he wasn't a parody?
I mean, what was he parodying other than a Fonzie-like character?
But that's what he was trying to say was his character, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm saying there wasn't. Right. It was just saying that he was saying this is the character and there's other jokes that this character said.
Right, which is bullshit. It was him. It was obviously him.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's a character or the real guy if there's no point to the character. If there's nothing commentative about the character, then there's no difference between you and the character, effectively.
No, right. But I remember...
if there's no counter message involved to what you're doing.
Right. But I remember watching him, and I used to hate him because you had to go to the comedy clubs after him. But there was a time period where I remember I did try to question my own things and say, what am I thinking about? I was like, he was a great actor. I thought he was an excellent actor in movies. He did a good job. He was well,
I think excellent actor is pushing it. I think he did fine in the limited roles he was in.
You're right. I used to say, I think I was guilty of more hyperbole in the old days. I used to say, because I hated his act, oh, he's a good actor, so maybe he's not even as good. But the point is that
you were the emperor of hyperbole.
Exactly, the emperor of hyperbole. I was the first person to say the emperor's wearing new hyperbole. Hello. But when you watch that special I was talking about with Dice and the dark side of comedy, you realize that because Lorne Michaels does not, was it ultimately right? I mean, I'm not talking about ultimate right or wrong. But was he right to book Trump as a host? No, he was not right to book Trump as a host. He was not right to book Dice as a host. It indicated that he knew nothing about the show he was running, and he only booked Dice because he was popular. That's all.
Well, but I would argue that that means he does know something about the show he's running. That it's that his job running that show is as much about staying in the news and being controversial and getting ratings for the network as it is being the steward of the comedy.
Right, but why do you?
I'm not forgiving the choice. I think it was in terrible taste in both cases.
Right,
but I believe it was a cynical choice.
Yeah, I'm not making the argument that he is completely bereft of any comedy ideas. That there's nothing funny about him at all. That if you met him in person, he would not be funny. That if you saw him at a party, he would not be funny. That's not what this is about. Just talking about how horrible Lorne Michaels is. That was a semi joke, but I do realize that he knows the show that he's booking, but it's just like it's like he created the drama. Not only did he create the drama, NBC, CNN, all of these people are responsible for Trump getting in office. In other words, like, I'm not saying they should be arrested, but the way that they approach, like, hey, this guy's big. That's the way they approach Trump. He's big. We got to cover it. It's big.
Right. Well, and because I think every single person thought that there was a safeguard in place.
That he wouldn't win.
Yes, including himself.
But I think Jeff Zucker thought he would win. I think Jeff Zucker is a bad guy. And the guy who took over now have you heard anything about like what they're doing now? Like Jake Tapper had Jared Kushner on. What the fuck? I mean, not to my CNN.
Right.
They don't know. They seem to have no idea what they're doing. I know you're saying that these people do know what they're doing from their own terms, but like they have a woman, Laura Coates. She's great. Why does she not have a show at night there? Why is it? It's like they're wildly don't know what's going on.
Right.
You know. And you know what I'm saying to you, Josh? I'm making the argument that the Suits are not as great as you said they are. You used to go. I want to quit the writing staff. But then how would I have such a great relationship with the Suits?
Right. That's why, I said that after 15 years of self-financed obscurity.
Did you deal with a lot of guys who were obsequious with the Suits?
Obsequious to the Suits or the Suits obsequious? Because I've had it coming both ways. The Suits are usually pretty obsequious at one point.
I love your show
too. We're big fans here. We're all big. We're big J. Elvis Weinstein fans here.
We also love Ken and Kellen and Ken.
Right.
But was it the other way? I would think a writer would be more sensitive to being caught being obsequious amongst his writer friends. That's JB, good idea.
See, there's different kinds of writers.
Right.
And I think people who
there's not all one writer.
There's not all one writer, and I think people who are like I think people who came into comedy writing via stand-up are different creatures than people who have always been on a TV writing career track.
Yeah. Right, because a lot of them aren't like, well, the old ones were stand-ups, right?
Well, a lot of them were, but
yeah.
But for the last 30 years, there's been, there's been definitely a sort of Harvard Underground Railroad to show business and all sort, and there are just, people who are career writers, either screenwriters or TV writers, are definitely more political animals because they're coming at it as this business that they're in, as opposed to, I think, other people come at it from how can I be creative in this business?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I always got into a thing where I was like, I'm going to listen to people's ideas, and which I still think is a good idea. I listen to anybody's ideas, but then I would just fly off the handle if they. I don't want to go back into the stuff. But did you see the interview in GQ? Read the interview in GQ, I think it is, with BJ Novak, and it's about his show. But it's also about, because he came out and said the worst thing for a writer is to be from Harvard.
Right.
Because, people, they know that when you're going in on an interview and that it's like bad because they hate you or something like that. Meanwhile, he never was unemployed to be able to say that it was right. And then they include my slam of him in the article.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they go, Andy Kindler said this, but he doesn't respond to me. I thought, oh my God, he's going to just... He just goes through this really kind of crazy... Look, you know, that's not what I'm about. I mean, he's like trying to pretend like these things didn't bother him. And the pictures are so great. One picture is like, I'm not pretentious. And the other one is a full shot of him. Like, there's something weird going on with him. He's got the Louis C.K. disease of trying to act like you don't want to be famous when you know he wants to be famous.
Yes, he's got a lot of self-importance going on.
I know. It's very entertaining.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. And maybe we can talk about it on our special day before we get to the mail. Oh, God. Someone take a bullet. Someone take, what am I doing? Why do I have this voice? What are you doing? Andy, what are you doing? What? I'm doing the podcast. You sound like a raving lunatic. Get out of here. Get out of here, July. I'm not like, I'm trying to think of when we took time off with our big, huge public fight.
I think that was last August.
I don't live in Sherman Oaks, Josh, but I have been but I just want to say that I live not far from it in Studio City in a wonderful condo.
Wow.
I said to Edwin.
That's the one for you and your mistress?
That's not funny because I do have a mistress. Anyway, so
I have to take an air quote walk again. So good for me. So good for me. My constitutional.
I walked all the way to
Studio City,
a street called to where Valley Vista hits Ventura.
Huh? That's a long way.
That's a long way.
And then did you Uber back?
No, it was like a 4 or 5 mile thing. So Terra E Mar is a very good look. I said I'm going to look at these restaurants. When you're walking by them. You can get a sense about whether it's a good restaurant.
Sure.
Don't you think that's true?
Now you have like a whole list of places you're afraid to go that you'd like to.
Right, but I can order from them.
Right.
That's what. Well, you just talk to me like I'm crazy. Right. Why
are you scrolling on your phone while you're talking?
Because I was trying to think if there was any other things. Oh, there's one called Casita, which is a new place.
Yeah.
Have you heard that place?
No.
It used to be where the district was.
It means little house.
What's that?
I think it means little house.
And anyway, I saw a couple of good. There's like a restaurant row there. You got the sweet part of kitchen. It's just very exciting. You know what? Maybe I should take some photos and send them out to our listeners. What? Then there's Le Petit Trois, which I enjoy French food.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done with that, and my meds are wearing off. Remember we used to do med jokes before all the meds?
Sure.
Is he on his meds?
Right.
It really is not a time period to be missing. When what was the respect towards mental health back then?
Exactly. Practically nil.
Nil. Especially during the time period where...
Our thinking was retarded.
Oh. It's like a word. Some people have a defense of their words,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's generational, but I think we've talked about it. That word never would have occurred to me to say to anybody.
Oh, it was big. It was big in my...
in your generation.
In my generation, yeah.
And especially with the Boston comics. He's retarded.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Right. And then they would go, here's the comics like, hey, I'm a comic. I'm just calling it as it is. So you're saying now that you're buying into when you feel negatively about someone, you call them a retard. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It's funny.
I would say I wouldn't have used. I wish I wouldn't have used it, but then I would have just used fag more.
Okay, I have to go. I can't be part of this. I never
This
used.
is confessional. This isn't pride.
No. Feig, Paul Feig used to do that bit about when he was a kid.
Yeah.
When they say Feig's a fag, Feig's a fag. You're just talking about the truth of that time period.
Yes.
And then, but again, it's like if you were to the same stuff that Adam Carolla and Bill Maher that they're all saying about trans people, if you went back, they would be defending it about gay people. Did we talk about this already? They would be doing bits about gay people, and they would be making the same complaints about the police and the what I'm trying to say.
Well,
right?
there's nothing new about you can't say anything anymore.
That's right. You just can't. And so, perfect example. They're trying now because Chris and semi-fascist Biden said, and Chris said something. I don't want their support. They tried to go back now and do the deplorables thing again. You can't do the deplorables thing again because we now know they are all deplorable.
Right.
The January 6 people.
Right.
That's the best word I would use for them.
Sure.
Deplorable.
Sure.
So it's not going to work as a campaign thing. Like Sununu's son. Well, that's what I call him. Sununu's son said he should apologize. Biden should apologize.
Yes, the self-righteous indignance thing is really the time has passed.
Especially from them, from Sununu. His father was so racist when he was trying to get who elected in 2060. Was it in 20? He was for who ran against? Oh, he was for Trump in 20, either something like that.
Good point.
Oh God. You know what? I don't think I took my meds. Well, we're not in the time. Don't even hang up on
We're
me.
not. We're not.
How good was my hang up, though? You even said you went out of your way to say, Andy, nice job or something.
I sent it off to the Museum of Broadcasting.
I would love it if we were in the next, those time capsules. I would love it.
Yeah.
In the time capsule, we have Martin Scorsese's film, Goodfellas. We have Andy Kindler and Josh Elvis Weinstein, an episode of Thought Spiral. The one about the Jews. Do you get my joke there?
Uh-huh.
The one about the Jews?
Right.
No, what's my joke?
It's like the Scorsese movie about the Italians.
No. It's me making fun of the way the Friends used to call their episodes.
But it also incorporated the irony of the one about the Jews.
You know what's amazing is that you ascribe to me multi-levels that it's not there in my comedy.
Well,
I wish it was. But now this podcast has made me understand what it's like to talk to me.
What I've learned as a writer, though, Andy, is that theme is not always advertent in the writing. Theme emerges from the theme is sometimes emerges from the actual writing rather than as an objective of the writing.
Oh, I think that would be the more preferred situation, wouldn't you?
It depends if you recognize the theme as the writer or not.
You know, this has become not like one of those hypotheticals or but I don't know what the original thing we were talking about was.
Well, do you care?
I do care in a way because I do think because the memory doctor, he said, write down every time you lose your place.
And have you remembered to do that?
No. Susan reminded me, and then I forgot. This is like a bit, but without the comedy. This is like a joke without a punchline. This is like a day without my sunshine. I can't write rhyming. I still have Josh's 8-track studio in the box. Boom, 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 boom. Failure. He's a failure. Bump, 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 bump. You failed. How about this one? Bump, 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 bump. You've been lying to yourself, old Jew man. Old Jew man's not bad. Well, the Jew man. Oh God, I lost it. I forgot where I was. forgot where I was and what we were talking about. We did the what's that?
Because you've been babbling for 3 straight minutes without me making a sound.
But that feeling like that I'm sorry, I went off the mic. That feeling that I have that's like, I know it's a matter of breathing or something. It's like it's a breath thing that I'm doing when I laugh without knowing it.
Yeah.
And I just go, everything, it feels like I'm going to die, and it feels like the right move.
So yeah, it's a lack of oxygen is what it is.
Well, many of these cult type things, they do have a number of these exercises. And if they're if they're people who rip you off, they are doing the same. They're claiming that you're going to some space with breathing exercises, but you're just hyperventilating.
Right.
And, but that's not what I'm not, my thing isn't a scam. It's just what I'm saying is not funny. That's a big difference.
You're on asphyxiation ayahuasca.
I'm gonna want ayahuasca. I want everything at my drug fueled. I cannot think of the word for when you're going to pass away in a nice place.
Hospice?
Yeah, that's right. When my hospice gets cooking, first of all, I don't want to be around for when I die. So just keep it, pump me up.
Yeah.
Pump me up with drugs and good drugs.
Why don't we just snuff you out?
You don't think that that's a difference? One thing is a little bit nicer exit?
I think it's semantics. Tomato to morphine.
Was that a tomato joke?
No, Andy, it wasn't.
What does that look? That look is contempt.
Yes.
But also, how many more years with this asshole?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot in that look. You're right.
I
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I got a new one. You ready? Hi. Hi.
That's more in the spirit of it, I think.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's 107 degrees in Los Angeles.
It is.
Oh, it's going to be a hot one. You know what, Josh? I don't know about this global warming, but when it gets up to triple digits, I'm beginning to think maybe they've got something to say. I mean, maybe it's getting a little hotter. I mean, I like my Trans Am, so I don't want to lose my petrol.
No.
I'm almost funny in this bit. I just want to let you know, if I ever catch you enjoying Joe Biden and I see a Marine near there, you're going down, buddy. I hope you haven't heard. I hope you haven't missed this whole thing.
I've gleaned. I didn't.
Don't go by my Twitter thing, just by regular stuff.
I haven't seen your Twitter at all, but I have gleaned.
I haven't seen your Twitter at all.
Well, I'll unblock you.
Oh, God damn it. Sorry.
I've gleaned that someone gave him shit for having Marine guards behind them. Is that because it was?
Yes, but it wasn't just someone.
Is that because it was a political speech?
That's what they're claiming. But it wasn't but here's the thing. It wasn't a political speech. Every single word he said was truth. He's for fascism. He's against fascism, right?
Yeah.
But the worst part of it was that it was Breonna Keeler and Jeff Zeleny, both from CNN.
That's why I'm done with CNN is trending.
And then I had to go back to previous things I had, because that McDreamy guy, who has the same name as John Favreau, who was the speechwriter.
Yeah.
I got friends with those guys, and then I put down Breonna Keeler in 2016 for repeating rumors about the Clinton Foundation like it was news.
Yeah.
And he came in. Oh no, absolutely. And I said, she's been doing that. He goes, oh no, she's an excellent reporter. He was making a point about CNN, but not as strong as I was making the point about. And then I said, oh, don't admonish me. And you know how people love when I get into that thing.
Yes.
And he unfollows me. He unfollows me. So you know what I did, Jeff?
He was right. He didn't block you.
You know what I did, Josh?
You blocked him.
I unfollowed him.
Okay.
All right. I'm back, baby.
All right.
But the point I was trying to make was that, regardless of that stupidity, that's not stupidity. I'm very proud of that feud. But the idea that Breonna Keeler, they've always been horrible reporters, and now, then of course people are showing millions of. I don't think Trump took a walk in the morning without the Marines around him. I don't think he had a speech. He said a word to America. I bet you could find a Marine in his signings of the bills, that he would do in the office. Marines, and then Marines.
I will say that signing of the bills is official business.
There's no Marine there. I made that up.
I'm just saying that that was a bad example.
Okay, you're right. But the point is, CNN has been taken over by this guy.
I guess what I'm saying is I was bored by your point.
Good.
Okay.
So, you know what I say? I wish you health. This is my new thing, because I'm my therapist.
Yeah.
That whenever you insult me or try to belittle me, which I say. See, the thing is, my therapist.
Whenever you insult me or belittle me,
Josh, that's a low blow. I'm surprised you didn't go into droopy. It's a low blow.
I can't be baited.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right.
I'm still alive, your penis. Why do you not pay attention to me? Why the other night did you say, "Get behind me, Satan," to my penis? I don't think it's quite the same.
It's
voice.
not the same, but it's enchanting nonetheless.
You are in trouble this morning, Josh, because I am in a good mood.
Yeah, you've already had a feud.
No, don't worry. Why am mommy? Why not? How come I, as a Jew today, can't go mommy? How come that would be wrong? Mommy.
You can, because no one will know what you're talking about.
But isn't that kind of not a white blackface thing? He's taking
it 100% was a white blackface thing. Yes.
Oh, it was literally white blackface.
Yes. Jew blackface, to be more precise.
I don't understand. Can you explain to me? Because I don't understand. Why was the Jews involved with that? Because they weren't really Jews.
Because
they left their Jews behind them for this, right?
Well, it's because it's show business, Andy. Jew goes out the door.
But I mean, who was the original? Was it Al Jolson who put blackface on him?
No, Al Jolson put it on because there had been a 100-year tradition in front of him of that's what's in.
God, I didn't know that you finally could bring up a topic that you knew something about.
Fuck you.
Hey, fuck you. That wasn't a bad jibe, was it?
No. I was just taking a different attack.
You were just taking a different tactic with it?
Yeah.
You were a little bit like, it's not bothering me, but you're a little, it's blown out behind you. If you can move.
It's blown up.
I'm just trying to say.
Okay,
like
well then tilt down. Tilt your camera down, asshole.
It's not a competition. You win if the competition is who can operate things.
This is as far.
Either way, I like it both ways. Going. Okay, go back the other way then. It's fine.
No, I'm not moving.
But what if you have to operate? What if you just hit the record thing? How come you haven't? It used to be when we. This is gonna get you so mad. It used to be when we first started. 1 out of every 3 shows would make it to air because you forgot to hit record, or there was no batteries,
right?
Or this was my favorite one. I don't know how. This is gonna be my impression. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know how to operate the equipment. The boss, can you come over and help me? Why would I come over? I was already in your house. Why would you be inviting me to come over? Well, I just want to say we wouldn't be able to do this show without you. I'm going to say that right now.
Hi.
Hi. So I am very, I haven't done any cocaine. Oh, sorry.
Oops. You said the cocaine part out loud.
Hey, I'm still... Josh, occasionally I'm still on crack. I mean, I'm still not on crack, but I do crack occasionally. Hey, he said the horrible thing that he should say to somebody who's a medical professional out loud. Hey, Josh, I think I'm having a heart attack. He said the life-threatening thing out loud.
All right.
How many more can you want?
I just want one good one.
Okay. God, this is the worst fucking meal you've ever cooked, honey. Just pretend that's me and Susan.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no. I said, just forget it. I don't have one good one. I can do 6 or 7 ones that are
Oh, no, he
semi-bad.
said the years of pent-up hostility part out loud.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm thinking about how many times I masturbated today out loud.
1, 2, 3. Then the Zoom call ended.
I said the part about me worrying if Josh hates me out loud. Does he hate me? You hate me? Hi. Hi.
In your life, have you ever said the quiet part quietly?
That would be, I think everyone would appreciate. Why the camel non-filter laugh? It can't be from the pot. I'm sure it's not from the pot.
No, it's from
because smoking the pot is fine.
It's from the asbestos, I'm sure.
That's not funny because when I was a young kid, not a young kid, but I was 18 working in the summer, I'll never forget his name, Jim. But I know his last name. It doesn't matter what his last name was. He was the foreman for my father in the gas and heating contracting business, and there was something wrong with him, and he may have been taking money, and he may have been doing this, and he may have been, but he would get down there, and go ahead, pull that boiler out. So I probably pulled 7 to 10 boilers out.
All right.
And he goes, is it safe to go in there? Yeah, get in there. Everything's good.
Sure.
What do you? But how about asbestos? As best as you can.
So how many copies of the free mesothelioma book have you ordered?
Well, the part that I like is that they say, when they say, I first see the commercial, I go, but is that all they do? And then they say, this is all we do is mesothelioma.
Right.
It's all we do.
Yes.
How? Don't tell me, because I think now I really, should I have gotten it by now?
Yes.
Is that true, really? I did it when I was 18.
Yeah, it's not, this is people who do it for their living for years that have these problems.
Oh, so I even could have, and probably did, inhale some asbestos since they were old buildings.
You might well have, yeah. Especially since it was pipe fittings and things like that.
And because the guy would be like, he was an asshole. He would work us. He would get the hell out. he just like would work us like a maniac. So we were like falling all over the place.
Had you stayed on the job for another 20 years, you should worry.
That's, I think, sometimes I think, what if I had stayed, not even did something different with my dad's business? What if I went and said, I want to, right from the beginning, I want to be a boiler, is it installer? Installer, or is it a boiler?
Well, those things both exist. That's all I can say.
want to learn how to do I want to learn how to use a suzzle, as Armando used to say. A suzzle. Armando was the master builder. He was one of my favorite people. He really was amazingly great. What is it called when you know how to get the pipe from here to there and it's hard?
Competence?
My father was a master plumber. He had a lot of skill, my father did, but not practical skill.
Right. Well, plumbing. That's practical.
No, he was terrible at plumbing.
Yeah.
But he was a master plumber, so like he had to. I'm even joking about this.
No, I mean that's an actual thing. It's not just your normal hyperbole.
Right. My dad was the smartest one I ever met.
You didn't say the world's foremost plumber. You just said master plumber, which is a thing in a trade.
Yeah, that's right. So what happened was you could not operate in business without having someone at the firm have a master plumber's license. And my father was the only one who, well, I don't know, who agreed to do it.
Who bought it off some guy.
Oh, that's not nice. Look, I told you that he said he could have answered the questions. He could have done it up and up. He just didn't. You know what my father did do, though? He paid off cops. I think I've said this a million times. He paid off cops. He had to pay off cops who would ticket all of his trucks if he didn't, right? Okay. And this was part of what was called the Knapp Commission in New York. The Knapp Commission. Yeah. Which was like a big thing. And so like when it came out and on TV, like the guy, maybe I'm exaggerating, but one of the main guys who was testifying, I knew that guy. That I think I added to the story. But it was always fascinating to me that he goes, I said, well, what if you didn't pay, Dad? Well, then I would have had $300 of tickets a day. Right. There was no point at which he said it was wrong. I should have taken them to the cops. They were the cops. Jews. So, did I finish that story? I was a master plumber. Okay, so my father took the test. And it literally was stuff like if a pipe fitting falls in the forest, there's that kind of thing. It was like a really hard test. They had to build a model of a pipe. And it was very hard.
With like paper towel tubes?
No, he had pipe fittings down. Like he had to bring. One day he was working on something. He left the house with it. And then he came back later with a woman and a prostitute and a hooker and
all three.
So he passed, but then his actual plumbing ability, awful. Yeah, awful, including. He dropped the toilet, the thing that the toilet roll goes on, the wooden thing? Yeah. Dropped it right down the toilet. Yeah. Stuff like that. Yeah. Things, the opposite of what a plumber would do. Or he would say, oh, like if you go, I think there's something wrong with the water pressure. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. He hated when things went wrong. And that's the end of that story. I'm very proud of myself.
But if there was a major plumbing problem at your house?
He knew who to call.
He called someone. He didn't fix it.
Yeah, he knew who to call. No, he literally could not. I think my uncle, who was his partner in business, as I mentioned, he had a snake.
You didn't even have a snake in the house.
No.
Wow.
And in fact,
some master plumber, I say.
Uncle Alan was the go-to for this. One time, we thought there was a rat in the house. Turned out it was a squirrel.
You know what they say? A rat in the house might eat the ice cream.
Is that like a true crime thing?
No, that's how you spell arithmetic.
Oh, a rat in the house might eat ice cream.
Eat the ice cream.
A rat in the house. Why can't I just say ARITHMETIC?
You can, now that you're 60-something.
No, I was always very good at spelling, except when I lost the spelling bee because I had just come from a French class and I spelled the word pasture like Louis Pasteur. And I cried like a baby for years afterwards.
Yeah. And like still, you're still kind of doing it.
Yeah. Did I wrap up the story? Just give me the one. I'll use my thing now.
Master plumber is your keyword.
Master plumber.
I think you did.
Yeah. So one time we thought I had a rat in the house.
Oh, thank you.
We thought we had at our house. And then it turns out to be a squirrel. But in the meantime, my Uncle Alan comes over, like in hazmat suits. Not hazmat suits, but it's something ready to kill us, ready to trap a rat.
Yeah.
And when he saw that squirrel, he looked at my father like, really, Larry? You got me over here for a fucking squirrel?
Like
he didn't curse. They didn't curse back then.
There's like two genes different.
What do you mean?
Between a rat and a squirrel.
Oh, I wanted to tell you.
Fluffy tail, cute face. Those are the two genes.
Right, but I was just going to tell you, no. He married into the family.
The squirrel?
My uncle.
Ah.
I thought you were going, yeah, sounds like there's two genes difference between your father and your uncle.
Oh, well, I think that's true as well.
Let's just say he's one or two genes shy of a gene pool. Hey, this is my new character. I'm going to bring back, why can't we bring back Dennis Miller character and do him?
It's sort of like Andrew Dennis. It's like Andrew Dennis Clay.
Andrew Dennis Clay. Yeah. Hickory dickory dock. Yeah. But wouldn't be if we could make a new
Hickory dickory dock. Schrodinger went up the clock. Boom.
Yeah. If we could come back and make a better, like a funnier Dennis Miller, like if he had continued along this path, he would be here. And we like, how do they do that? They make a 3D animation or something.
Yeah.
And then we'd have you doing the voice or me doing the voice. I mean.
Yeah. Let's wait till he's dead for that.
What's that?
Let's wait till he's dead for that so we can actually.
He is dead. Career-wise.
Well, he's dead to you.
Okay, I know we have stuff to do, but I just want to tell you that I have been really, and I'm not saying this to get you going. No, it's not good. I really have been enjoying the Mets, and they have a great broadcasting trio.
Yeah.
Gary Cohn, Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling. I'm just seeing if you're still interested. They're very funny.
Yeah.
And I bet everyone's going to say, oh, my crew in Miami is the best. But these guys are very funny.
So suck it, Marlins fans.
But the thing about it is, like Josh, the last 2 days, I watched baseball games.
That's great.
I didn't watch the news.
You didn't watch tennis?
And I watched a little tennis because I'm watching Serena, of course.
Sure.
So I'm just saying, life's going pretty good around here. Pretty good. Remember when Larry David would say that hilarious thing? Pretty good.
I don't know.
No, he did that on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I know. I stopped with that show.
But you did. You could have the first year.
All right, I saw it. Okay, you got me.
All right, let's go to the letters, right? Or you got something else? Do you have anything to catch me up on?
No, you don't care.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Pickle says, I can't believe this is Pickles. Because how would Pickles even know about these modern references? Dane Cook is engaged to a girlfriend. I guess Pickles hasn't exclusively done Dick Van Dyke references.
Actually, hasn't done any, really.
Oh, okay. That makes it funnier. Dane Cook is engaged to girlfriend Kelsey Taylor after 5 years of dating. Do you expect to be invited to the wedding? Do you think 27-year difference is that big a deal? I don't think there's any age difference that can be too great. Like, God forbid something should happen to my wife. I would like to be 80. If I'm 80, 82, 83, I want to get married to someone who just turned 18. Right. Just turned it.
Sure.
Like we have actual affidavits signed.
Yes.
Now, ask me if I was in my 90s.
What about if you were in your 90s?
Probably I would make 21 the cutoff.
Yeah.
What do you think of the age difference?
I don't have a problem with the age difference. It's just I don't have a moral problem with it, really. I mean, I think it's gross in my own sort of personal thing.
What?
In that he's been dating her since she was a teen.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
But, it seems to me that Dane Cook, as long as I've known him, he has been trying to posture himself as a 22-year-old.
That's true. That's true.
And I've only known of him since he was like 30. So since he was 30, starting on the internet,
Yeah.
it really is. I think, So emotionally, I don't think there's probably any gap.
It just, you know what?
But it's fucking gross, and it's even and it's even grosser when it's a big hack doing it.
That's the thing that bothers me is like, how could she marry that act?
I know.
More even than the age difference. Which no, the age difference. I think it's the age difference, and I hope that he didn't groom her or something like that. I hope that didn't happen, but that's the only way maybe he could get someone now to like his act.
Maybe that's what.
Andy
is.
with his grooming jokes, doo-dah, doo-dah.
Tweet Bahara.
Tweet, ba-la-ba-doo.
I always worry when we see Tweet Bahara early in the run.
It's scary, right?
Because it means we're going to see him at least a couple more times, probably.
Yeah, there's no question he's coming back.
Yes,
he's full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah, our question section is his notebook, apparently.
The question section is his downtime.
Yes. Question from a while back. Oh, good. He's recycling questions. That's good.
I love this new relationship you have with Tweet.
What is the oldest thing in your house was his old question. And we each answered that. And his answer was, I brought it in a rock from the front yard. It's probably about 80 million years old. I win.
Well, I don't like the fact that you're reading it with such derision.
Well, I don't like that he set us up for trickery.
Eastside 76. This is going to be the voice for the rest of the morning.
Okay.
Eastside 76. It's 76 degrees in Eastside 76. Guys, chicken tenders also go by chicken fingers. I call this a nama de plume. Is that what I did that right?
No, you fucked it up big time.
Oh, I thought he was doing that commercial for the for that buffet.
No, he was not.
What is he doing? A nom de plume.
A nom nom de plume.
Well, why is he saying nom twice?
Because nom nom is the sound for something tasty in current.
Nom nom. I don't agree with you. Okay. I never go after go, that's a nice piece of steak. Nom nom.
I'm not saying he's right. I'm just saying.
Oh, it's while you're eating.
I'm just trying to explain it to you, Andy. I'm not trying to justify the joke. I just want you to understand what you're not getting.
I bid adios, he says at the end.
Like a Mexican mic drop. I bid adios, exclamation point.
I think is he getting a little bit, is he beginning to think that, is he going to
Let me give it a read to really just show the attitude. Guys, chicken tenders also go by chicken fingers. I call this a nom nom de plume. I bid adios.
It is funny. Now I realize that things could be funny. If that must be how you feel during the speech.
It's how I feel whenever I write something for someone else.
Oh, not just me?
No, actors are worse.
Here's what I think.
It's worse when it's actors.
I'll tell you why I think this is.
And you're no actor.
No, but I think it's where, I think it's like even if you have I was going to call you the world's greatest comedian, but even if you have the world's greatest comedian writing for you, as you're receiving information as a comedian, you're kind of still going, I don't know what's in my voice. I'm sure you've experienced that with me. Just looking at the material. I don't know. This is probably not a character that's real.
I don't quite understand where you're going even, so. And that's my fault.
You know what? Thank you for telling me that, because I would have kept going. And that's why that's why I'm glad we went into podcast couples therapy.
BD West says, did I mention Starling Marte? METS Mets. Repeater.
Oh, he is so great. He is so great. He's like, he reminds me, and I'm not saying this because he's, why did I bring up that he's black? He reminds me of Darryl Strawberry, even though they don't look at all alike. Is I guess what I should have said if I was white.
Wow, this is uncomfortable.
And
this is really, truly uncomfortable.
It's really uncomfortable. The thing about it is, I'm just saying, is like, I just look at someone black. I'm not saying I just can't stop thinking about it, but I'm just saying it's a skin color, and I notice, and I go, how is that person different from me? And I don't say he's a better baseball player because he is black, because there are also very good athletes who are white, like Oral. I was trying to think of a white guy who was really clumsy. Oh, I hyperventilated. How many times have I hyperventilated during the letters, during the run of the podcast?
Weekly.
I did it again.
There you go.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, good.
Although I do believe if I do die, that could be, I might have that experience before I die, which wouldn't be bad at the home. Hopefully you won't be around.
I'll be dead?
No. You'll be out in the hall during that particular time.
Oh, okay.
Is that the worst thing that could happen to you?
Andy, I'm just going to go to the cafeteria. Don't die.
Well, what did he say? He just said he's going to the cafeteria for a second. Don't die. It's curtains. B.D. West says, Andy, you've probably been asked this a million times, but what's Patricia Heaton really like? She's very nice. Let's go on.
No, but what's she like?
Well, she's a conservative person, so it's hard to talk right now about anybody who's that conservative.
Yeah.
Without getting angry.
Well, that's okay. Get angry. It's okay.
Well,
I think it's time
she's
maybe trash her even.
No, I wouldn't do that. But I will say that she is a radical right-wing extremist. So, her whole issue was abortion.
Yeah. And
she even told me once during one of the shows, like when we're about to, because her father was a newspaper columnist, I believe.
Yeah.
And I believe that maybe her father maybe even was progressive or something. I don't know. But she said to me once, yeah, I was a Democrat. I used to be a Democrat until they just started getting so crazy about killing babies. It was like that kind of comment.
Yeah.
I'd be a Democrat today if she goes, I'm a one issue person. So it's a little hard to think about her in a positive way right now, since she's one of the people who brought this current climate to she's in favor of the current climate. You know what I'm saying, right?
Sure. I just wanted to hear you say it carefully.
Yeah, it was good. I was very, 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 very excited about the whole. No, I don't really care anymore. I just said that everything gets. You know what? I realize now that had I over all these years, I'm being like I'm being honest about this. Had I over all these years been able to just say the true thing out loud, say the true thing, and not have that much attached to the results of the true thing,
right?
I think I would have obviously been a lot more comfortable. I would be more effective on Twitter, because I wouldn't be telling everybody, "Go fuck yourself, stupid face." Hey, go stick it up your ass, Trump face. Hey, Hitler. Hey, Hitler.
I saw something yesterday where you did I know people who've had a stroke.
Oh, that was good. That's very good. I did that. And I want you to know, when I do that, I'm going more. First of all, I had to remember, yes, I do know people who have a stroke. First, I had to remember it, right?
Sure.
I know people. And then I have to assume a fake thing. It's a totally fake.
Yeah.
Which is like, I knew Bobby Strokeman. You are no Bobby Strokeman.
How dare you?
How dare you?
My mother's
I'm glad
a Quaker.
you picked that up, because that's one of my classics. Oh, another one I do.
I almost wrote, my mother's a Quaker.
And it's so amazing you said that, because that's the other thing I'll do is I'll go, someone will go, if I was in a real horrible argument with whoever it was, and they said something about, oh, I wonder how your parents are. I said, my mother and father are dead, or something like that.
Right.
My mother and father are dead. I'm 65, and I don't feel good. I don't feel good, which is all true.
All right, true, sure.
Do you want me to do the next Esai? No, you do.
I'll do it, yeah. I find it semi-annoying when the audience asks you guys to do impressions, and this week I am more self-loathing than usual because I would love for either of you gentlemen to rock your best Columbo impression, please. Hasta la pasta, y'all.
This is another show that he's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of which our letters are a part of it. I think it's Hasta la Pasta is what his name of his podcast. Look, I'm sorry, sir, but just one more thing, ma'am. If the top secret documents, excuse me, ma'am, one more, were planted by the FBI, how were you able to declassify them? Now you do it as Columbo.
I'm sorry, sir, but just one more thing. If the top secret documents were planted by the FBI, how were you able to declassify them?
So good. Imagine if someone requested me to do a voice on a cameo. They'd be bitterly disappointed. Except one more thing, ma'am. Oh. Dan Marsh says, hey, guys, the conventional wisdom is that people go into comedy because their childhood was messed up. But Josh describes a pretty nice home life. So how did you end up in comedy, Josh? And where would you be now if your parents sucked? Oh, Dad, bring it heavy, bringing it in hot.
Well, my answer is really just because my parents were super funny and jokes were currency in my house. So that's how I got it. That was my backdoor, is that laughter was approval in my house.
Well said.
And if my parents sucked, I have no idea. I suspect I would have probably just run away and done something similar anyway. I think I would have ended up in some sort of arts situation.
Well,
it probably would not have been stand up had I grown up in a different house. But I'm pretty sure I would have ended up in a band or some shit at a young age.
Oh yeah, as a start out thing.
Yeah, and to get away from my parents,
You know what's amazing though?
Because even though I loved my parents and they were good to me, I still moved out at 17. So it wasn't
right. Yeah, I mean, let's not go crazy. They were great parents, but I'm not with them when I'm 30.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I would like to say to you is that when I graduated in 1978 and came out to LA wanting to be a singer-songwriter, guitarist, you could absolutely say that was after the golden age of getting into rock music, right?
Yeah.
So, you could imagine, I would imagine that as time goes along, the getting into, I just realized something. The idea that you would get into a band, probably everybody my age and older were in bands, but not everybody your age was in bands.
Well, when I was that age in Minneapolis, it was a great time for bands. I mean, we had the Replacements and Husker Du and Suburbs and Prince and all. Minneapolis in the 80s was like a fucking bohemian paradise. And so,
did you feel that?
Absolutely.
Not at 16.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. Were you like smoking a pipe at 10, and at 11 you went into stocks, and when you're 12 you did some light entrepreneuring?
Yes, all of that. No, but when I became a comic at 15, I fucking became a comic, and I became a part. I became a part of the scene, and I was, and I was hanging out in bars, and I was, But no one thought you were precocious. You were just doing. They thought I was precocious, but they got over it. Because I didn't present like a kid because I was this big, giant, doughy thing. So if you looked at me, you go, okay, 22 or something. So there wasn't like cognitive dissonance when you talked to me,
Yeah.
But the people who, they realized I was one of them and they let me be one of them. And it was, I consider it life-saving, not that I was on a suicide path, but I was just, I think I was definitely on a clinical depression path.
Oh, I don't think I ever knew that about you.
Yeah. I had some deeply unhappy times.
Huh. Did I know that you have a tendency towards that?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's a Weinstein thing.
Your brother too?
Brother, father, grandfather.
But I don't think they would like if you to introduce it with such verb. It's a Weinstein thing.
Why?
You say celebrate it, right?
I'm saying
celebrate it.
We don't have a huge problem with our weaknesses in the Weinstein clan.
That's true. Is it me now or you?
I think it's me.
Go ahead. That was excellently said, though, by the way. I'm not answering the question. It wasn't addressed to me.
Jason from the Top Rope Parton says, third draft of this tweet in reference to last week's discussion about the draft. I think from today's perspective, we could consider a Ted Nugent as a draft dodger, someone that shit themselves to get out of it, but would only have won by themselves had they gone. But would have won by themselves had they gone.
No, there's no question. He's in the same category as James Woods. He's a chicken hawk. You can call them anything you want, but if you didn't go and you were old enough to go, and then you end up like an asshole trying to get us into every conflagration in the world, then that's what Ted Nugent is.
Yes.
Stephen Elton Yates, Stephen, says, when I want to leave something I've written unchanged, right away I mark it Stetson. Stetstat. Have you guys ever been to Mexico? Did you have a good time? I've never...
Stat is what he said.
But what does that mean?
Stet is what printers and news people use to leave something the same, unchanged. So you write stet. And stat is used by medical personnel to mean happens quickly.
Yeah, but you're
so when he says, when I want to leave something I've written unchanged, right away, I mark it stat.
Yeah, but that only works if anyone has heard of the expression stet.
Yeah, but I have. I just proved
you
it to
have
you.
Not. Here's what I want to say about Mexico.
I use stet quite a bit. In the writer's room, you use it quite a bit if you're going through.
Oh, my God. Can you tell me again what it is so I know?
Stet.
What is it?
Stet. Like page 6 is stet. Page 7, we need to change this line. Page 8,
oh.
Stet.
Wow. And now I feel like an idiot.
Well,
I think you should take the second tweet. Did I do I won't use that word. So you have to ask the next question.
All right. Tweet Bahara is back, as predicted, to say, as a teen, I had a friend that would do fart poses. He would strike a pose, then fart. His two best were the Heisman Trophy and the ballerina. Sorry, Andy.
J. Anus Films.
Wow, he won't even acknowledge it. He won't.
No, but I went into J. Anus Films,
Yes.
which I sabotaged myself.
Yes.
I'm starting a support group to help. I'm sorry, Tweet Bahar. I had to use you as the punchline there for my bit. I'm starting a support group to help shed hack phrases. We're called, wait, watchers? That's a very good joke. That is a very good joke. That's all I got to say on that one.
Johnny Whoops says, if the Mets and Lakers had to compete in an athletic competition format like the old Battle of the Network Stars, which team would win? I'm going to give it to the Lakers. Unless the Mets get Christy McNichol on their team, in which case it's all bets are off.
She's on waivers. Josh, I just want you to look forward to this, which you probably don't have any opinion on. But I am back in the baseball thing of like, you pitch it to the outside. You go, oh, and because they're going with this. They didn't even have this when I was a kid.
Sure.
The what's it called? The swerve, the shift. They have 8 players. Let's say the guy is a right-hander, so he's going to pull the ball to the left field. They have They have even extra players that come out.
They do
to man the positions.
Yes, if that guy never hits to right field.
Right. Now you go perfect, but the only way. If he hits the ball, if he pitches the ball outside to a right-hand batter, that's where the danger would be. But he's going to go. Am I wrong about this? It's right?
But if you have the shift on, you're probably going to keep him inside and not give him a chance to slap it to right.
Oh, man, I tell you, this sport, I guess I'm the last person to realize that this sport has complexities that are interesting. When I was a kid, it was like, that's a 6-3-4-2. That was a 4-5-9-3. You know what I'm doing, right?
Yes. You're scoring.
Just lost your interest in it. I don't believe it.
You know who wrote there's a book called Pure Baseball that your buddy Keith Hernandez wrote. That is
oh, really?
Yes. It's a really good book. It takes you through.
Wait.
It's a good book if you want to learn about baseball. It's a boring book if you don't care.
I bet I could get it on tape.
You probably could.
Okay, what's it called?
It's called Pure Baseball. I read it 20 years ago, but it was it basically takes you through an entire National League game and an entire American League game and talks about every decision that's made throughout.
Wow, and he's a very that's great.
It's like an annotated baseball game. So it really, if you really want to learn about those sorts of intricacies.
I never even knew he wrote that. Sorry.
Yeah.
He is so funny. He's very funny in the broadcast, and
he's a very smart dude too.
That's what I knew he was smart, but it's like, it's so funny when you see someone who is he's younger than me. I'm sure. Maybe the same age.
He's probably
maybe
not.
56.
He's probably not much.
Yeah.
Younger than you.
And just so it's very his. I don't even know if he grew up in New York, but he stayed there long enough that he's very familiar to me.
Sure.
You know, his whole. So the other day, though, they're all talking, and they're talking about, and I didn't hear what started this, but then Keith Hernandez says, "Yeah, well, you know, the worst example of that was when Willie Randolph got caught in the base paths," and then they're completely silent.
Yeah.
And he's like, and they like let awkward pause. They go, huh. He goes, Did you guys already talk about that? Yes, we did. When? During this very game. He goes, well, okay, all right, I did it again, but you know, I can't hear everything. I got to work on, you know, I'm updating my thing. Oh, so funny. So funny. Anyway, I don't want to get too far into that because you know what I'll do. I'll keep going on and on.
Sure.
Everyone hates me.
Eventually you'll get to a point and then the show ends.
Wait, why am I've lost, wait, what? I lost where we were.
I'd say it's Street Bahara, but that doesn't narrow it down at all.
Okay, I've lost this again. Why don't you read it then? Oh, you want me to read it, right?
I don't care. I'll do it.
Well, wait.
But you're not going to be listening is the problem.
No, I know, yes. I don't want you to do it without me. Okay. I think I'm with us.
We're on the Tweet Bahara after Johnny Whoops.
I mean, there's a lot of questions here. What the fuck's going on?
I know, so let's fucking speed it up a little. Ha-ha-cha-cha.
Okay. Got it. Tweet Bahara, is it me?
Light a little coal under your scroll.
I'll do Tweet Bahara this time. Tweet Bahara says, for the 50th time since Tuesday, 2 tragedies that haunt me. The destruction of the library at Alexandria and Andy passing up the chance to have lunch with Five-ish Finkel. You say that, and it hits me like a punch in the stomach. It really does. Man.
That's all. That's just.
He's probably not able. Five-ish Finkel probably has not been able to transition to the other side.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm a Yiddish person. I'm supposed to be, hey, well, I'll tell you the history of the Yiddish. Hey, have a gefilte. And now he's up there.
His last word was Rose Kindler. Don't Call Me Boopsy says, what's the Ben Stiller update?
What does that mean? Is that a reference to something?
It's a reference to you bringing up that Ben Stiller refollowed you for a solid month in a row.
I think he still... Did he unfollow me?
I think he did.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Wait. No, he did unfollow me.
Yes, he did.
Why?
Because you're horrible.
Oh, is that why you think he doesn't like my arguments?
Yeah, I just don't think he likes you.
You know what I'm going to do?
You're going to check.
I'm going to fucking block him or something. I'm going to fucking block him.
I think you should.
I'm going to block him.
I think you should.
I'm going to call attention to it, too.
Yes.
Either follow me or fucking unfollow me.
Right.
Don't follow me and unfollow me. It's bad enough I had to write your goddamn material.
What am I, a streaming service?
Yeah. That's true. I'm going after him today.
All right, good.
Okay. Oh, that's what's going on. I'm going to go after him today.
Good. Yeah, good. Good.
Okay. M. Letsom says, if you won the lottery, what would you do, gents? Much love. I would spend the money.
Yeah.
I would enjoy the money. I think I'd buy a lot of weed.
Oh, and that would be different. How?
And how do you know that Ben Stiller... I can't think of anything else now. How did you know that Ben Stiller unfollowed me? What's the point of following me and unfollowing me?
Did he actually unfollow you again?
Oh, no, you just said he did. You know what? I almost was going to check it, but then I go away from the questions.
All right.
Okay. I don't think he did unfollow me, but I'm not going to go away from the questions.
Good. I don't think he unfollowed you either.
You just said he did.
I know. Why would I know? How would I know?
You're so
And why would you believe me?
You are like my brother. You're like Rich Brotherton.
I had no idea. I had no idea you were even on the hook. That's how far fetched.
Did you notice I was starting to space out a little bit? I didn't give M at all the much love to you, M, but I couldn't even think of what the question was because I was so discouraged. But I was already thinking, well, what am I going to say? I got to make it funny. Got to make it funny. Hey, bud.
Damn, I feel horrible now that I didn't actually trick you into going after Ben Stiller today.
No, I was first. I'm not stupid.
You probably would have
checked.
Yeah, you probably would have checked.
I probably. No, I'll never forget the time. The worst thing I ever did
I could have DM'd him and said, "Hey Ben, if you follow Andy, it's going to get really funny if you unfollow Andy."
Oh, I think you've done this person so many times. I'm going to do this person in the way I hear you do it. You ready?
Sure.
Tom says.
That's close, actually.
Jabber, hi. Has to be one of the funniest things said on this podcast. I'll never forget it. What was this?
Jabber, hi.
It was an impression of you.
Your impression of me, I think, is one of the best things I've heard. It makes me laugh.
That's good.
Because it's like, actually, if it was really me, it would be more obnoxious. It would change pitch. Right. It would go over you more.
Here, let me do it better. Moment.
Jabber. I'm doing my Jabber character. Jabber. See, do you like the new character? Hi.
Jabber. Josh, have you always had a pink plate on your coffee table there by the shoe?
Jabber, hi. Jabber. You hurt my feelings. Jabber. Goodbye. Jabber.
The hut.
Jabber. Shut up.
Come on, join me. Jabber. And remember when the whole world... Hey, Josh, remember, I'm in the show business home. Remember when we got everybody going with the jabber? Just shut up and eat your fucking liverwurst. Why are you feeding me liverwurst in the home?
Because it's like a paste.
You hate that, don't you?
What, liverwurst?
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't seek it out.
I looked up if there was a podcast about spam without realizing that I meant the food, and there are plenty of podcasts about spamming and spam.
There is a podcast about spam, though.
Oh, okay.
About the meat.
The meat.
Yes.
Warp. Well, wait a second. I just want to pass another question. You want to take it? Because I already did a question from the same person.
Giannis Films says, just a heads up to stay watching tennis and baseball for now. Trending in basketball is the screenshot. Trending in basketball. Wait, what?
Well, he's right about tennis because it's the
which
US
I think
Open.
was probably in reference to the Donovan Mitchell trade. Just so you know.
Oh, I don't know. It went over my head.
I know.
Oh, wait. Minnesota is a in the wild card hunt, right? Or in the lead of the division hunt.
They are back. Yeah, they are back in the divisional hunt. They had a bad spell there, but they're back in the game now.
You know how happy I was when I realized that the Mets have a better record than the Yankees? I didn't know that. The Yankees started out the season so hot. And the Dodgers have an amazing record.
Uh-huh.
And we beat them 2 out of... Mommy, where's my toothpaste? Death. Okay.
Warps your head.
Warps your head. Thank you. Warps your head says, hi. The females in my house use the word hoo-hoo when referring
Actually,
to...
hoo-hoo. I think it's
right.
both hoo-hoo.
Hoo-hoo. When referring to vaginas. What do you guys call vagina? Never mind. That's a terrible question. But the hoo-hoo thing is true. I call my vagina pinky. That was unintentionally funny. Because a vagina can be pink, right?
You can. A healthy one.
Shut up. You're making us sick. You don't add on to that kind of sick comment. You just let it go. What, you don't like to trade off now doing questions?
I don't know. You're making my hoo-hoo hurt.
You know what? Maybe you had a little problem with your dang.
Christopher Citro says, as the lights came up after a performance of Waiting for Godot last week, a lady behind me turned to her friend to ask, and what exactly was uplifting about that? Any memories of dragging a friend somewhere very much not their cup of tea?
That really is a great thing. I wish, Christopher Citro, I wish I had been there to experience that, but I think you painted a picture that brings the joy of that. It's like, I used to do that joke I wanted to do, Waiting for Godot as dinner theater.
Yeah.
And so, because I want to hear 3 hours in. Hey, is my steak going to get here before Godot or what?
Sure.
So I really, I don't know why I had to do that. Excellent. Do you have a memory of I don't know if I have a memory of dragging a friend like that. I have lots of memories of hearing people in theaters and things say ridiculous things about the movie or the play.
Usually if I drag a friend somewhere, they have a better time than me.
And it also feels like you'd be also worried a little bit that they're having a good time, and then you'd be a little angry.
I surround myself with people who can make things better than me. So.
That's good.
Present company excluded, I assure you.
What? A.D. Morgan says, I've been having a rest from Twitter to see if my memory improves. And I can remember there's a good British TV series from the 70s about politics, and I can't recall the title. Andy, we are approximately the same age. Do you remember anything you can't recall? Is it as Till Death Do Us Part or something? Is it the show that All in the Family was based on? That's my only guess. But I don't think that's what it was.
Awful guess. It's just unbelievably bad guess.
All right, let me try again. Oh yeah, I remember that show. It was called Staffordshire.
That's better. It's better.
And it was about a couple of blokes who sit around the pubs and they get drunk and they talk about me politics. And they go, Richard, they go, nice going, Mr. What? How's it go with the Beatles too? Nice going, Mr. Heath. Way to go. This guy, the tax man.
No.
Mr.
Wilson.
Yeah. Whoa, Mr. Wilson. Hey, I'm talking to you, Mr. Heath. Do you know the show he's referring to?
I don't.
All right. Well, then go on and ask the next question or get out of my face.
Jennifer with an attitude says, my husband sent a, quote, inside joke from Thought Spiral to a group chat and proudly showed me, but had to explain the joke to me. I reminded him our friends don't listen to Thought Spiral, to which he said, Josh and Andy said it's okay to tell a joke for only 2 people. But since he had to explain the joke, he's only told it for 1 person. He said 1 person works too. What do you think? Is yourself enough people to tell the joke for? I came back to Twitter for this. No idea if I'm doing it right. Do I have to tag again? Okay. Because
you're doing it right.
Tweeted. Yes.
Oh, you are doing it right.
Oh, and how?
I mean, compared to Tweet Bahara, who does 7 or 8 a week, they start out with,
Hi. Hi. What do you think? What's the opposite of cold open? Hot close.
Speak to you next week. I'm kidding. I love you, Tweet Bahara. It's Joshua has a problem.
Yeah, a joke for 1 person generally is a mental illness tip off. But a joke for 2, I can live with.
Yeah. The thing is, the idea is that it's an expression. It's not like it meant to be taken. It's hyperbole. But the joke is, if I was a comedian and I was at Montreal and I was at a thing and I knew only 5 people would get the reference, I would do it if 5 people liked it.
All right.
That's what that thing generally means.
Whereas also with Mystery Science Theater, we had that theory because we were doing 600 jokes.
Yes.
So you could throw away 1.
Right.
Or 100.
I think you did a good job there, piggybacking on what I was saying. I'm not, Josh, I'm high or something. I think it may be the caffeine.
Say, what, Susan, what's going, oh, someone's coming to the door. I want to be both high. Where do I want to be? High and smell good.
All right.
What seems to be the trouble?
Officer.
What's wrong? I smell pot. You don't smell pot, officer. It's mint. Oh, I smell the mint too. Mint pot. Oh, we're having fun.
It's a mint kush.
Kush.
Take
it away, buddy.
All right. Okay, it's your turn, but I'll do it anyway.
Because it was Jennifer.
With an attitude.
I convinced myself that you were wrong. And I was just like, poor fella. He just can't take it. He's losing it. No, he's probably not losing it. You're probably losing it.
Well, you've lost me. Xavier Krugeran says, hi, guys. Been a huge fan for years. Just wondering if either of you are fans of some of the more obscure animated features from Adult Swim, such as Lucy, Daughter of the Devil, Frisky Dingo, or maybe a third thing. Love you both.
I am not familiar with any of those titles, and I'd like to expand because I always thought Adult Swim was back. Adult Swim has some good stuff on it, but I don't know anything. I don't watch as many animated things as I thought I might.
Yeah, I have a real unwarranted resistance to animation a lot of the time.
I mean, when I've loved it. But even like the Simpsons,
I'm not attracted to it, and I think it's part of the same reason that I don't like, I don't watch murder things because I like the sort of, I'm interested in people within the realm of reality.
Right. And I think once you get into it, I know once I get into it, I love it. But there's so many choices in life now that like I'm more tending towards live action. I topped you with that answer, right?
Sure.
Dan Wade says,
Hi.
what's your reaction to that?
Hi.
What do you think, Josh?
Hi.
Josh, what do you think about that?
Hi.
Josh, what is your response?
Hi.
Josh, would you stop fucking around and give your response to Dan Wade's what? Dan Wade, what? He says, hi. What's your reaction to that?
Hi. Hi.
Bring it home. Bring it home, Josh, unless you have some other business afterwards.
I have a desperate need to get away from you, however, at this point.
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh.
Where are we? Richard Cole. Richard Cole says, do you wear a jacket or take an umbrella when it's raining? Josh strikes me as a guy who wears a poncho for fit and comfort.
It sounds like he's trying to insult you somehow.
I think he is, yes.
I have said this a lot, and I'll say it again, that my favorite part of watching the weather is when they say something like, hey, Mom, don't put away those galoshes quite yet because we're gonna get a little bit of wet stuff this weekend. Which always to me meant like, do people put their galoshes in an underground shelter? Is that what happens?
Into
You know what? This material may not be as strong as I thought it was when I was on the road.
No, but you thought galoshes was gold for anything.
Galoshes?
It's an all-purpose word.
What do you call flip-flops?
And I do not wear a poncho or a raincoat or even necessarily a hat. I'm kind of a just move quickly and get kind of wet guy.
Not in Minnesota, you weren't.
Sure, I was.
No, but you couldn't do that during the snow.
No, he didn't ask about snow.
What did you call flip-flops in your region of the country when you were a kid?
They eventually, I think everyone called them flip-flops, but originally they were thongs.
That's what we called them on the East Coast. So that may be just a generational thing. And then people go, what are you talking about?
I see it here.
Why is that shoe in your ass crack?
And here's the other thing. I never felt comfortable in flip-flops because you step in it, it flip-flops every time you walk.
Yeah.
And I see people.
It's a tell.
What's that?
It's a tell.
I don't like in general when people wear no socks and some kind of weird Birkenstock.
Yeah.
I don't want to see people's feet unless I paid for it online. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba. It's curtains.